Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every week. And I am your host, Leslie Klein. This is where we learn how to raise our vibration and thrive together. So today we're exploring the Leo eclipse, which just happened yesterday. We'll be discussing the latest UAP disclosure developments, and we'll also talk about what it means to step into the light of our own evolving consciousness. So I'm so glad that you're with me. And please put a comment in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you think of the show. Comment throughout the show. I'd love to hear from you. And also, you can do it on the replay. I'll see those comments as well. So, we are moving from awakening to expression, from with this Lionsgate that just happened, the energy opened the door. The Lionsgate energy opened the door on 8/8, on August 8th. And then 4 days later, we had the Leo eclipse just yesterday. Today's the 13th. So the Leo eclipse asks us, what are we willing to step forward and become? So, what are we willing to step forward and become with this new Leo energy? So, let's get into the astrology and what's happening in the cosmos. So, the sun moved into the sign of Leo on July 22nd. Happy birthday to all of our Leos, including my husband. In about a month, around the 20th, or so, 21st of August, then we'll switch into the next sign. But right now we're in that energy of Leo. And we also are in the waxing moon phase, which means we're moving from the new moon, which just happened yesterday, and going to the full moon, which will happen in about 2 weeks on August 28th. It'll happen right at midnight, and it's in the sign of Pisces, but we'll talk more about that as we get a little closer to it. The big news is this eclipse that happened yesterday. So, were you able to watch it? It was actually total eclipse in Spain, and a lot of Spain was. Had the total eclipse from view, that where they could see it. So the sign of Leo asks, what am I here to create? Where have I been hiding my light? Um, what wants to come through me? Also, am I willing to be seen? The Leo is the performer, is the one in the spotlight. This is the energy of Leo, the confidence of a lion. Um, am I creating from the heart or from the need for approval? So we want to create from the heart, from our genuine authenticity, as opposed to doing something to get approval from somebody else. So that's what this new moon energy is all about. And being that it's a solar eclipse, it's like a triple new moon. So this is like a really great time to start anything new, any kind of new project to kick off. And if you are not sure what those things are, now is a great time to plan for that. And we're still in that, 3 days before, 2 days before and after a new or full moon, you still have that same energy. So we're still in the energy of the new moon and the eclipse. So this is a great time. If you didn't do some things on 8/8 on the Lionsgate portal, you can still do it now with the intention that it was done on the Lionsgate. So the Lionsgate was on the 8th, and this eclipse season um, happens like every 6 months. And so the eclipses are that big changes. It's a great time to reflect, a great time to release anything that's not serving you, and a great time for redirection. So, because we're kind of like a little more than halfway through the year, it's a great time to kind of evaluate, where am I in terms of my intentions, my goals, what it is that I'm wanting to manifest. So let's see. So the eclipse window, it symbolizes accelerations of endings, beginnings, and course corrections. This is really where the universe is clearing the space for the next level of our evolution. That's one way to look at that. So let me take this off of here, and let's get into the UAP issues and what's happening with UAP. Let's look at the latest developments in the UAP world, which is unidentified anomalous phenomenon. If you don't know, it's kind of the new acronym replacing UFO. So, one of the things that recently happened just after our live show last week on Friday, the Pursue office released the fifth drop of tranche of files. They like to call them tranches, collections of files, both files and videos that were dropped on the war.gov website. But the real big news that's got a lot of people upset this week is Russ Coulthart did allege in his Monday report just a couple of days ago. He says that there are several credible sources that have told him that the Trump administration has authorized a secret operation near El Paso, Texas, and the White Sands to locate, disable, and recover UAP. According to the report, the objects may be disabled with an electromagnetic pulse, which is they call EMP for short, which doesn't destroy the craft, but the goal is to recover the technology from the craft by keeping it intact. So the other thing that Russ Coulthart is alleging is that the people that were associated with the Skywatcher program, Jake Barber, that they have been recruited to participate. And he's suspecting that they were part of this issue, this incident that happened. This actually happened back in February. You may have heard the news reports that at El Paso, they closed down the airport and the airspace. They were saying that they were drones coming from Mexico or from the cartels or Chinese drones and this kind of thing. So this is what the reports were in the news. But what Coulthart is alleging is that no, this is actually a covert operation that they've been doing. Let's see what else here. Danny Sheehan, also in his latest podcast that just got released this morning, he's saying that if this is simply an allegation, it needs an investigation. But if a sitting president has actually authorized a military operation to bring down what the government knows to be non-human craft, the constitutional and international implications could be enormous. He's calling it an act of war. If we intentionally did this, this is an act of war on another civilization. So, I'm not presenting this as fact. This is a developing story that needs investigation and transparency. So this is something that just happened a few days ago. And I know I've got some friends that have called me and let me know about this and are very upset about it. And we're like, we got to do something about this. So, part of what I'm doing is being part of the Citizens for Disclosure movement and taking the actions that they recommend and that kind of thing. And the latest that's happening as far as legislation is that the Burleson UAP Disclosure Act got passed in the House, and now it's in the Senate for approval. Now they're on recess right now, but in September they'll be back and they'll be voting on this. And I wanted to mention some of the features of this Burleson Act, that this is how it came from the House, and hopefully these parts will be kept in the Senate version. So this act says it creates a permanent UAP records collection at the National Archives. It also includes creating an independent UAP review board. This is to say, what records are okay to give out to the public and which ones aren't. It also creates a Senate confirmed board member review panel so that all the people there need to be approved by the Senate. It also provides for subpoena authority, which is very important because, like they had the task force, but the task force didn't have subpoena power. So they have no teeth behind, what they're trying to do. So they can't compel someone to do something because they have no teeth, no way to subpoena them, no way to, punish them, I guess, if they don't do what they're supposed to do. So subpoena power is very important. The other thing this act has are requirements for agencies to identify, preserve, and transfer the UAP records. And lastly, the disclosure requirements um, also extend to certain government contractors, because we know these defense contractors have access to the retrieved ET technology that has been reverse engineered from the craft that have been collected from the past. What Coulthard is alleging that the Trump administration is doing um, is something that, um, you know, is really immoral and wrong. But, on the other hand, we've seen what this administration has been doing. So it's par for the course, right? Um, anyway, if this disturbs you, which it should, join Citizens for Disclosure. And the best way to do that is just go to the website, newparadigminstitute.org. When you go to the website, you'll see different parts that say take action. And so, this latest action that we are encouraging people to do is call their senator. So, if you go to this website, sign up, get the newsletter. When you sign up, you'll get a newsletter every week that kind of apprises you of what's happening. Danny's webs YouTube channel, which is the New Paradigm Institute channel. I have the link on the screen here. Check that out, because that's where the full disclosure episodes do come out. So watch today's episode. It gives you the full picture of what Danny is saying. But, join us for Citizens for Disclosure and help us to, really be part of how this new world we're going to live in, where ETs are part of our society, how we can integrate their technology, their knowledge, and work with them to create a better Earth and solve the problems that we have here. So that's what Citizens for Disclosure is all about. And I have been doing a program called Disclosure Dialogues. And the next Disclosure Dialogue is where I have a panel of Citizens for Disclosure volunteers that come from all backgrounds, that we discuss for an hour different topics. And this next one, we are going to have all experiencers talking on the panel, and we're going to be talking about this latest information about shooting down the ET craft. And also on the 29th of August is when Dr. Stephen Greer gave a deadline. He basically sent this letter to the government saying, give me or provide the information about these ETs, or I will start doing that. And his hard deadline was August 29th, which will happen 3 days after the Disclosure Dialogue show. So it'll be interesting to see closer to that date if anything new comes out. But we will be talking to our Disclosure Dialogue panelists, and you can watch previous shows by going to this tiny URL. We've got like 10 episodes already over the last year. And if you like that information, you want to learn more about experiencers, check out Galactic Good Vibes. This is a series that I am doing where I'm interviewing in depth different experiencers. So the last episode was with Natalie Hill, and there we go. There's the link for that. So that's what's happening in the world of UAP. And now I'd like to calm us down. Now we have all that stressful information. I feel that, meditation is so important to do. This is how, when the chaos is happening outside in the world, the one thing we can do is, be at peace within. So I love to do these guided meditations. I started at the beginning of the year, and they're short, 3 to 4 minutes. If you are driving a vehicle or not in a safe space, don't do this meditation right now. Do it when you get a chance. Just come back to this video and play it and use it there. But in the meantime, let me get the music going. So, and get yourself in a comfortable position. Mhm. And take a deep breath. Get into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. Again, inhale, breathe in, and release. And allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to relax and simply become aware of the space around you. Now bring your attention to your heart. Imagine a warm golden light beginning to glow in the center of your chest. You don't have to force it. You don't have to create it. Simply notice it. With every breath, allow that light to become a little bit brighter. This is your inner light. The part of you that knows who you are beneath the roles, beneath the expectations and the stories you've carried. Breathe into that light. And as you breathe, silently say, I am willing to see clearly. Breathe. Say silently, I am willing to know myself more deeply. And breathe. I am willing to let my authentic light be seen. Now imagine that golden light expanding beyond your heart. It moves through your chest, through your shoulders and arms, through your entire body. And now imagine it extending beyond your physical body, surrounding you in a field of warm, radiant light. You're not trying to become someone else. You are remembering who you are. Think about one part of your life where you've been holding yourself back. Perhaps you've been waiting for permission. Perhaps you've been afraid of being judged. Perhaps you've been wondering whether your voice matters. Bring that situation gently into the light and ask yourself, what would I do if I trusted my own light? Now, don't search for an answer, just listen. Now imagine the light moving forward, illuminating the path ahead of you. You don't need to see the entire path. You only need to see the next step. Take a breath and silently affirm, I release the need to hide. I trust my inner knowing. I choose courage over fear. I choose authenticity over approval. I allow my light to serve something greater than myself. Now take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine that light radiating outward from your heart, touching everyone around you, your family, your community, your fellow human beings, and ultimately the whole planet. Now imagine millions of individual lights becoming lit up and beginning to connect. One light, then another, until the planet itself appears surrounded by a field of consciousness, compassion, and possibility. Take a final breath, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes and carry that light with you. And remember, you don't have to become the light. You already are the light. So I hope that was helpful. And again, you can come back to these different meditations and do them at any time to help. I find like I have that monkey mind where it's hard to just sit in silent and do silent meditation. So I like the guided meditations. All right. Okay, so it is time now to talk about our tip of the week. So let's stop the music and talk about, oh, actually, it's not the tip of the week. It's time for the oracle message of the week. And let me take that off there. Okay. So I was doing spreads, and if you've seen previous episodes, it seemed easier to just use one deck than try to do a full spread. So the deck I've been using is this Trust Your Vibes Oracle deck cards by Sonia Choquette. And, I like to just shuffle the cards and ask Spirit to give us a message for us at this time or whenever you watch this episode. So the card that I am pulling, very cool, free your creativity. Number 29, free your creativity. So I'm going to read you the message and put this front here so you can see it. All right, do it this way. Free your creativity, which really fits in with the Leo because Leo is about our creative self. Now is the time to break free from routine. Fixed points of view, and strong opinions, and tap into your creativity instead. Don't let anyone or any experience from the past limit your creative curiosity or expression today. You have the natural gifts of music, art, dance, inner guidance, movement, and vision in your soul, all waiting to be activated at any time. Be fearless as you explore these adventures. Be fearless as you explore these adventurous, fiery aspects of your nature. Approach your challenges or concerns with fresh, curious eyes. Nothing is blocking you other than your own limitations. If you are willing to see things differently, many new opportunities will be possible. Get out of your head and breathe into your heart. Use your hands and create something. Bake a cake, plant a garden, experiment with a new furniture arrangement, or try a new look or style. Don't be afraid to make a mess, and don't be attached to your outcome. Creativity is an expression of the soul, not an intellectual effort of the mind. The creative process itself will reveal answers to your challenges. So I love that because, like I said, creativity is one of the traits of Leo. And how often do we not do art or music or different things like this and be creative or like create a meal or bake something? So that is the message from the Oracle this week. And if you like this deck, you can find it at my Amazon store, which is on good-vibes.tv. You'll find everything there. All right. And next, let's talk about your tip to raise your vibration this week. Last week's tip of the week was to practice a Lionsgate ritual. And that ritual was where we wrote 8 intentions down that represent the life that you consciously are creating. And then after you do the meditation on 8/8, the August 8th portal, to read each intention out loud with gratitude and spend 8 minutes visualizing each of those intentions as if they're already unfolding. And then you feel the feeling of gratitude, and that helps carry it forward. So that was last week's tip of the week. And, to be honest, I had such a busy week and I did not have the time to do this, to create my 8 things. So what I've done when I've missed kind of like a deadline like that, I will kind of have the intention that, okay, I'm pretending like I'm doing it on 8/8. like my intention is for that it's done there, because there is no real time and space, right? This is all illusion. So you can shift things like that. You're in charge, and your word is your wand. It's what we say is our truth. So you can intend that and do this ritual, and watch last week's um, show to see a little bit more that I talked about that. But this week's tip of the week to raise your vibration is to do one thing that makes your authentic self more visible. And what I mean by this is not going on stage or anything like that. It's actually to say what you actually think, to start the project that you've been postponing, to wear something that makes you feel like yourself, to share your story, make the phone call that you've been putting off, create something. Also, tell someone that you appreciate them, set a boundary, take the next step towards something you have been afraid of pursuing. So, the universe doesn't need another version of yourself trying to fit in. It needs the version of you that came to be here to shine. So that is the tip of the week. Do something that makes your authentic self more visible. All right, my friends, I want to thank you for watching today. I hope you have a good eclipse, rest of your eclipse. We're still in that energy, so plant those seeds. We've got, with the seeds you're planting now, will manifest and grow through the next 6 months. So this is really a great time to set those intentions, because the energy is working with you. So if you've enjoyed the show today, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Get the word out there and get these good vibes happening all over the world. I want to thank you for watching, and have a great week. And I will see you next week, everyone. Thank you, and peace out, everyone. Take care.